So the plan was to travel light, heading across to Thailand, just some clothes, socks, shorts, shirts, the usual, nothing important, and I could buy anything I need when I'm over there. So I packed up my suitcase the night before. I was up at 4 AM before the sun was even up. By 5, I was on the way to the car. We had a little bit of rain, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to a different country.
Early in the morning, it's time to go catch a flight from Brisbane. Let's go to Thailand. I'm super tired, it's like 4 AM.
After playing a little bit of Tetris to get all the suitcases in, it was time to hit the road and make our way across to Brisbane International Airport. Checked in my luggage and made my way through security. I had about a 3-hour wait before departure, but 3 hours is still quicker than most times waiting for a KFC order to be ready. Eventually it was time to board the flight on Singapore Airlines. Having only flown Jetstar before, I was surprised to see screens built into the seats in front of me. Bought a book along to read, but I abandoned that plan for mindless entertainment, choosing to watch The Last of Us. Seven episodes of The Last of Us in, and I arrived at Changi Airport in Singapore. This airport was huge. This is the biggest airport I've been to in my life. It's so big that you need to catch trains to get around from one part to the other, and because there's so much distance in between, it's even like being in Jurassic Park. They have waterfalls, rainforests, and all kinds of things to look at.
Singapore Airport is so huge, you need to catch trains between the terminals. It's so much bigger than Brisbane.
After a 3-hour stopover in Singapore, it was time to jump on our next flight across to Patong. This one was a lot shorter, only took an extra 2 hours. On landing in Patong, we were now officially in Thailand. It was about 8 o'clock at night local time. It took about an hour for us to get through all of security and pick up our luggage and organise across our taxi, which we had pre-booked, but it took a little bit of time for us to find Toy, who was the owner of the cab company, and find the driver she assigned before we finally arrived at the Novotel.
I woke up at 4 AM in Australia, in Australian time. It is now 11:30 PM and I've just checked into my hotel. I've been traveling and in layovers for that whole time, so let's catch some Z's and kick this off right first thing tomorrow morning. Good morning. So last night I got in, I was just way too tired to do any clips, any vlogs or anything. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning in Australia, Brisbane time, to get ready for my flights. 5 o'clock I was in a car driving to Brisbane Airport, and then I think my flight out was 9 o'clock, 9:20 or something like that. But essentially I was in transit from, call it 4 o'clock in the morning from my bedroom, and it wasn't until 1 AM Brisbane time the following day that I finally checked in to the Novotel in Patong, Phuket. But today's plan is to get acclimated with the surroundings. I am checked into the Novotel in Patong. And I want to go explore Patong. I need to find my bearings. I need to understand where my hotel is. Then I need to understand where the stores are, where the markets are, where I'm kind of located around Patong. I'm not too sure, but when I start walking around, I'll figure that all out. In this Novotel for a couple of days. Then I shift across to another hotel, then another hotel, then another hotel, and then I come back into Patong again for another hotel. So moving around Phuket, guys. So this will be interesting. We get to see a lot of Phuket. But guys, I'm hungry. It is 6:30 in the morning Phuket time, or Patong time, Thailand time. 6:30 in the morning Thailand time. And I'm going to go find some food. And finding food won't be that hard. I just got to go downstairs. Somewhere in this hotel, I have all-you-can-eat breakfast every single morning set up as part of my package. So that'll be fine. I just need to find where that is. And then I'm going to go explore the streets of Patong for the first time.
So the first day going down into Patong was just very basic touristy stuff. I needed to set up my currency from Australian dollars into baht. There's an exchange on the corner of Bengla Road, and they have the best rates. We made 2 of the exchanges barter over who could do the best deal for us. I found a Big C shopping centre, which is our equivalent of Woolworths or Coles crossed with a Kmart, and I bought my toothpaste, mouthwash, and a heap of bottled water. The water to drink in Thailand's not safe from the taps, especially for Westerners. That's how you get Thai belly very quickly. But with the shopping done, I made my way across to a 7-Eleven, bought some beers, and then made my way across to a happy hour where I settled in for quite a few too many.
Last night, absolutely exhausted, crashed the fuck out. I was like, boom, done. Oh yeah, by the way guys, beers in the afternoon, popped down to the pool, had Cheng beer. I got a bucket of a bucket of chain beer, and then happy hour started. As an Australian, I knocked down fucking, I don't know, probably 8 to 10 Long Island iced teas. And I made friends with Alip Baba, who was my bartender. He corrected me on close to a quarter of the Thai words of the days that I said. My pronunciation was fucked, and I can't go out. Reason being is there is an election tomorrow in Thailand, and they cut off all alcohol in all bars and venues and restaurants from 6 o'clock until 6 o'clock tomorrow night. I am getting a moped soon to travel around Thailand. I've been watching the roads here. There is no road rules whatsoever. It's just like, if you can fit in, you just drive straight in. Right of way does not exist here. So let's see if I fucking die on a moped. Like and subscribe and watch me die on a fucking moped. Jesus Christ, what's going on here? Anyway guys, peace out, see you tomorrow. I'm a little bit dusty this morning. I had a few too many Long Island iced teas and beers last night. So luckily I've got complimentary breakfast. So I'm gonna go get a big feed, and then we're heading out to the Phi Phi Islands, and we're going on a jet boat, and we're gonna explore the sea around here. So that'll be fun, that'll be fun.
This is our tour guide, who I'll refer to as Mr. Sunny 3. Little did I know that he'd use the megaphone the entire tour of the Phi Phi Islands. Still feeling a little bit dusty, mate. I bought myself a Coca-Cola for 30 baht, and then eventually made my way across to my first local Thai bathroom. I had no idea what I was in for.
Just had my first experience using a toilet in Thailand, just a local one outside of resorts, and it fucking stinks, bro. It was disgusting. I almost puked. Had to like cover my face up like this just to try and breathe, but I got through it. So learning what it's like in Thailand, the first raw sewage smell.
It was time for a safety briefing with Mr. Sunny 3. It was pretty much, don't hop off the boat when it's moving, and don't fuck with wild monkeys. Pretty straightforward.
And you don't see monkey like a holiday. Monkey sleep, monkey not working. Okay? We hope you lucky, everyone.
But today was the perfect weather to head out on the water on a jet boat and head out to the Phi Phi Islands. I couldn't believe how lucky we were. It is the edge of rain season as I was coming to Thailand, so these sunny days are fantastic, and we were so blessed to have them.
It's all happening. I'll bring it. Oh, hey, buddy.
And we finally arrived on Monkey Beach, and I saw my first monkey in the wild. This will be the first of many to come in Thailand. Watch this dude strut. This is his beach, his world, and we're just living in it. I took in the sights and views of Monkey Beach before jumping back on the boat, and it was a quick trip across to Phi Phi Island. First port of call was to get some food. Now we had lunch catered from the touring company. It was an all-you-can-eat buffet, so I made myself a full plate and then got out there as soon as I could to explore the island. Now if you're visiting Phi Phi Island, just take note of where you hop off on your boat. If you're coming in on a jet boat, you're probably going to get dropped off at the beach. Make sure you explore the beach, have a swim, have a dip in the water, but also make sure you take the 10 to 15 minute walk up to where the larger ships are pulling into port. That way you don't miss all the markets and the town area of Phi Phi Island. On Phi Phi Island, I got my first coconut for 60 baht, and this is where my addiction to coconuts officially begins.
Sunny, back to the boat. Put on the wall for our 5 picture, and now Thai government consider here for Viking cap, and you can see inside nobody, and you can see outside in the water. outside like that low tide.
I'd realised at this point that Mr. Sunny 3 was going to narrate the entire trip with a megaphone. I guess this is part of their culture. I had no problem with it. I was just soaking in the great views. So we pulled the boat into Phi Phi Cove for a swim. Me and my brothers jumped straight off the boat into the water and had a splash around. For a lot of the other guests on the boat though, they had not been swimming before, so they had to put on life jackets and they eased them into water, many of them terrified holding onto a rope. Me and my brothers, we just had fun. Here's a picture of me on a kayak after defeating one of my brothers in a water wrestling match for it. After about 20 minutes of splashing around, we helped the other guests back onto the boat as many of them were scared and couldn't swim, and once they were all on safely, we hopped back on the boat ourselves. Next port of call was Maya Bay, where the movie The Beach, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, was filmed. Made my way to the Instagram trap, so I'll just do a photo like the Instagrammers do. Maya Bay though was truly beautiful and miraculous to behold. It was such a beautiful island, but there were thousands, I shit you not, thousands of tourists coming off boats, walking in lines to get across to the beach. And then the final island to stop at was Kai Island. It was just an island filled with bars, and bars, and I had plenty of coconut drinks before finally Mr. Sunny 3 said,
Sunny, please, back to the boat.
By the end of the trip, I knew I'd picked the wrong seat on the boat, right next to Mr. Sunny 3's megaphone.
Maya, Thailand, you come join with me and stop on board. Have Captain Boat Boy, engineer, my assistant, me, and me, Joey. And we hope you enjoy. We hope you come back again.
It had been a huge day traveling through the Phi Phi Islands, and I had an amazing experience. I was so stoked to have seen all these things. But finally, it was time to say our goodbyes to Mr. Sunny 3 and make our way back across to the Novotel.
Everybody come here and my check when if you send you back to hotel. Everything for you, you keep it in the office or not, you check and before get on the way, go back to hotel, everyone.
Overall, the day was super cool, man. I took a jet boat out from Phuket to go out to the Phi Phi Islands. I explored beaches around the Phi Phi Islands. I had my first raw sewage smell experience. That woke me up from a hangover. Today was the day I began developing my coconut addiction. I got the full cultural experience of listening to Mr. Sunny 3 all day on the megaphone. Got to go swimming in a bay in the Phi Phi Islands. And overall, was an experience I'll never forget, but I was super tired and wanted to get back to the hotel. But this was just day one. Join me tomorrow as I go down to Patong to Bangla Road. I'm going to get measured up for a suit, and I've never shot a gun before, so I'll follow a strange man down some back alleyways and organise shooting a gun. It's super sketchy following this dude through the alleyways, so I hope you tune in and see what happens.